although we're talking about technology, but I saw the statistic that 5 billion gigabytes of data had been created from the beginning of time till 2003. All I know is that there's a lot of zeros. I don't think it's 18 zeros. It's a ton of information from the very beginning of humankind until 2003. That's how much was created. But by next year, in every 10 minutes, the human race is going to produce as much data as they did up to 2003. So the world that we are living in is changing. The way that we communicate is changing. The way to cut through the clutter, the way to what we're doing here, talking about preparing heirs. There's a lot of opportunity, but you need to eventually adapt. When it comes to technology, for the first time in our culture, in our world, the younger generations are teaching the older generations something of significance. It's not in the 80s when I was teaching my dad how to get rid of the 1212 on the VCR, that he can reprogram it. This is some significant stuff. They're really having an impact. And it's changing the way that we do things. And I don't think it's been mentioned here, is that if you have multi-generational clients already, and the older generation just doesn't want to realize that they're going to die, doesn't want to have that conversation, this is maybe an opportunity to have that upside-down approach where you get the younger generations to start the dialogue and feed them some information to begin these conversations. So we talked a little bit this morning about how the generations are different. I love this chart and I hate it. I don't like to put anybody in a stereotype, but these are some of the ways that people grew up in their generation talking. And if you look at the breakdown, the boomers did a lot on paper, or it was physical, or they were in person, or they used the hard line, the telephone. As you go younger down, I'm a Gen Xer, I'll be fully transparent. Email, they were the first ones to use email, but I still remember being on the college campus going, why would I ever walk to the computer room when I could just pick up the phone in my hallway or my dorm room? But it's exploded. And mobile phones, Xers were really the first group to start to adopt that. Gen Y, you start to see a whole list of other things, social networks, etc., instant messaging, texting. So why I break it down like this is that when you're communicating, when these families are communicating, if they want to be successful, they should adapt to the audience that they're trying to talk to. Just like yourself in your own business, if you were going for a younger generation, you'd be more successful using their favorite means of communication. But as you go through this, again, there's no stereotypes. There's some people that might be in the boomer category that are using all of this, or vice versa. If you're having the younger generation talk with the older generation, consider them, really push them that they should probably do this. This is a serious conversation. They should do it in person. And we'll talk about a compromise in a second, a solution for this. One of the interesting things that is another major trend in society is that we've gone from a private culture. People didn't like to share a lot about themselves. We're now a public culture. The younger generations share so much, and sometimes too much. But it is just a major shift. And this is a shift that you should know about as a professional, because a lot of advisors are scared of social media because they're opening up the world to their personal life. Their clients are going to see them without the tie on, all buttoned up, and that scares them. But we've learned through this whole conference, and I can back this up from my own research, that the people that you're working with, they want to work with a human. They don't want to work with a robot. They love to make that personal connection. So actually, professional plus personal, I call it social business. I write 2 articles for Financial Advisor magazine on that topic. And so as you go through this, don't be so scared, because this is a real opportunity for you in a relationship business.